Hey guys, it is Tuesday, May 30th, 7:32 a.m. or 7:33 a.m. in the morning. And yeah, you probably noticed that I didn't do any videos over the past 2 days. I was actually doing videos, correction, I actually did videos yesterday. I actually did some videos yesterday. And what happened is that I don't know, how I did it with the remote or what I touched, but the audio on the recording did not get turned on my camcorder. So hopefully when I redo those videos today, the audio will be working. It'll be on and ready to go. But with that said though, I hope you all had a good Memorial Day weekend. I know that for me and my mom, it was interesting because my mom ended up getting a cold. Yeah. And it was one of those kind of colds that it feels like you might have COVID, but you don't because you don't have all the symptoms, if you will. And it didn't sound like she did. Didn't seem like she did. But it was one of those colds that would really just knock you down, if you know what I mean. Like, basically knock you out for a bit. And it did. And she got better on Sunday and Monday, thank the Lord, because, she was using she was using a humidifier here to, as I just adjust my glasses, to basically purify the air while she was, asleep in her room. She would use the humidifier there to kind of cleanse the air a little bit, as well as she would use this one too when she'd be sitting on her chair here. She'd be using this one as well. So, she had a way to kind of, keep herself pretty much, I guess you could say, in recovery mode, if you will. But it wasn't COVID or anything like that, because again, that she would have really been knocked for a loop, if you know what I mean. Even if it was just a 5-day deal, she would have been really knocked for a loop. But she seemed a lot better. I mean, she was drinking soup. She made chicken soup yesterday. So she did all the necessary things she needed to do. Excuse me. She even bought a box of, Dayquil and NyQuil up there. She even bought that to kind of help her out. I still have a box of the NyQuil of the severe kind, and everything. And I also bought these just in case. And she bought these because she doesn't like the vapor cool stuff. She feels it's too hard on her throat. So yeah, she did what she had to do to basically make herself feel better. And like I said, what she did is she made some soup, and the soup actually is right in here. Usually we would use something like that for the ambrosia, for like the holidays or whatever, but the soup's in there. And she used a pot I had not seen used in quite some time. And I don't know if it was my grandparents' cooking pot or something, but it was a pot she had not used in a long time. I don't know where she put it. Honestly, I don't even know where she put it or how she got it out. But it was a pot. I'm trying to look around here. I don't know where she got it from, honestly. Can't be honest with you, I don't know where she got it from. I mean, it was a big old pot. I had not seen that pot in, quite some time. So I don't know where she got it from. She probably got it from the garage or something. She didn't get it. Oh, wait a minute. No, she didn't get it from there. But it was a big pot, I can tell you this. Again, I had not seen that pot in like years. But yeah, the pot was about like this big, basically. Like, here's this, and the pot was like this big. So, yeah, that's what she used for, for making the chicken soup and everything. More natural, homemade chicken soup, vegetables, actual chicken, if you will, that you buy like Foster Farms and all that. And, and so on, broth and everything. It was good. It's enough to last the next couple of days, and the reason she made it is because, whether you buy, which I did buy via DoorDash. I bought a couple of cans of Campbell's Chunky Chicken Soup and Campbell's, well, not Campbell's, but Progresso's Chicken Noodle Soup, because my mom loves Progresso. I bought that, bought 2 gallons of water, because, we have to go out and get the jugs refilled and stuff, and everything. But yeah, I bought that. What else did I do? Let's see. Chicken soup, the waters, and a few other things as well, I think. I gotta look. I think some of them are still in here. I don't know if they are or not. But yeah, I bought a few items on Saturday via DoorDash because, she wasn't, it's like she was getting there, but she was still like more like knocked down, if you will. So, I decided to get the stuff via DoorDash. I decided to get the stuff via DoorDash and everything. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can look it up here on my computer. And everything. Let me see if I can look it up. But yeah, she went shopping yesterday. Actually, she had plans to get her tires rotated and stuff, and then she decided afterwards, okay, I'm gonna go to the store, and she did. Okay, here we go. So let's see the full receipt, and it cost me about $30 because you got the fees and everything, delivery fee, service fee, and all that, which is understandable. So what I got basically was, just 2 gallons of Rayleigh's purified water, 2 Progressos, and 2 Campbell's, and that was it. That's all I got on Saturday, but it helped out. Because my mom was like, well, I could take you to the store. And I was like, Mom. I was like, no, Mom, you're not. I told her, no, you don't have to do that because, again, she was kind of on the road to recovery, but she was still kind of like knocked down, like, no, Mom, I don't want you, going out, in this condition, and all that, and probably making it worse. Because we don't know what germs other people have out there, right? And I say that with all due respect, no offense. So I said, no, Mom, no, you're not going to do that. So instead, I went via DoorDash and did it that way. And again, like I said, the only disadvantage about those kind of services, but I understand why they're done, is the fees. Thankfully it wasn't soda I was buying this time, or it would have been really bad. Well, maybe not too bad, but you get the idea. But yeah, that's what I did on Saturday for her, and then like I said, on Sunday we just rested a little bit. She rested, as much as she could. Watched a few movies, if you will. Talked to my sister when she called and everything, because my sister does like to call every other night. It's just depending on what time she'll call. Sometimes the time is reasonable, sometimes it's not. Anyway, Sunday was more of a day of relaxation, but she still moved around. She likes to kind of clean things, make sure the house is in order, and it does kind of help out when she moves around, because what she does, and it's been this way kind of over the past couple of days, despite being like in let's say the low 80s, high 70s, but mostly low 80s, almost mid 80s, it's been very humid. And my mom has noticed that, and I've noticed that. So so basically, I guess realizing that, hey, I'm sweating here to the point that I need to shower, I'm feeling icky. I think she realized that, yes, by sweating in this kind of weather, you're sweating out the germs. And she realized that, in my opinion, she probably realized, well, if I move around and everything, I should be okay because I'll be sweating it out. And obviously that did help, because little by little, she was sweating it out thanks to the humid. And then, like I said, yesterday, like I said, she, got up, felt a little bit better. She was starting to feel herself again. And then she went and got her tires rotated. And then she went to Nob Hill to get some things to, make a chicken, like I said, make an all-natural chicken soup, as well as buy some other things that, we needed. She wanted to replace a lot of things that she had not had the time to replace. Like right here, we have pancake mix, if you will, pancake waffle mix. And she had not had the opportunity to replace the one we had in there because she always wanted to make pancakes when the kids would be here. But now that they're at that age, it's like, well, that ain't gonna happen, anymore. And then what else did she get? Well, besides like I said, the vegetables and everything for the soup, she bought herself these right here. She accidentally got pears instead of mangoes. She wanted to get 2 mangoes, if you will. So instead, she ended up getting pears, and she ended up getting some pears instead. But yeah, she did that, and then of course, like I said, she bought mostly stuff for chicken soup, and then again, like I said, she also bought the Dayquil NyQuil combination. Not the severe one, but the regular one, which works just as well. There's no denying it. But the severe one's more like if it's really bad, or if like you really want to just get that taken care of and done with, and there you go. But outside of that, she was feeling better. She was feeling a lot better. In fact, when she was watching her Giants, yesterday, because they had come on at 2:00 Pacific, and she saw the big lead they had, and I heard her cheering and everything, and I was like, yeah, she sounds better, she sounds fine. What it really is that she only has right now is just congestion. That's all she really has right now is congestion. Like, it's not too bad to the point that it's kind of like that, what I just did. It's kind of like that where she sounds normal, but you can sense there's some congestion, but not too much. And what she's done is she's taken some Dayquil, a couple of pills, couple of the gel pills of Dayquil with her to take, during her lunch or whenever, so that she could feel better, or she can keep feeling better and all that. And then, of course, when she comes home, she'll have the soup and everything for her to warm up and eat, to make herself really feel a lot better. But yeah, it's one of those weekends one of those Memorial Day weekends to where, we really didn't do much ourselves, and neither did my second older sister and her family. But I can tell you, my older sister and her friends and family, or her friends, I should say, her husband, her friends, and I guess family, if you will, went camping at Don Pedro, I think that's who it was. And my niece went to Vegas. It looked like. I think it was Vegas. Yeah, she went to Vegas. And what happened was really interesting because the reason my niece, my only oldest niece, I should say, went to Vegas was because it was part of a bachelorette party for my soon-to-be niece-in-law, if you will, and their friends and family. Well, basically, the parents, I think, were there with them, but it was mostly a bachelorette for the young girls and everything. And I think the mom was with them as well. But anyway, what happened was really interesting, and I was kind of surprised, and I was not too surprised. A little bit, I was not too surprised because I'm thinking to myself, well, that's kind of weird, it's kind of weird that basically they didn't do this to my nephew when they saw him sitting down, at the Slots at Red Hawk. But what happened was this. So, not to say too much, but basically a friend in the basically a friend that was along with them in support of the soon-to-be bride, if you will, basically a friend of theirs, not my niece, not my niece. I want to make that clear, not my niece, but a friend of theirs, if you will. And that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to say any more. But a friend of theirs basically had their friend, their male friend anyway, do something that's not right. And I can understand, okay, Red Hawk, Black Oak, Cache Creek, or Catch Creek, if you will. I can understand if maybe they'll let it slide because, those are here in California, so I can understand that they might let that slide and everything. Excuse me, I was just thinking about what I was going to say. I had to pause there for a second. I do apologize. It's early, so that's also another thing. But like I said, I can understand if it's Red Hawk, Cache Creek, or Black Oak, here in California and everything, where they might let it slide. But when you're going to Vegas or Reno in Nevada, that's a different thing. Because they're going to be more scrutiny, if you know what I mean. They're going to be more scrutiny. They're going to be more on top of it. And they were. They were. Because apparently the friend, whose male friend did this for her, was not of legal age to be on the, to be on the floor, to be on the slot floor, the gambling floor, if you know what I mean, right? So what happened basically is, the male friend creates this fake ID for the friend. Creates this fake ID for the friend. And what occurs is they think, they're not going to say anything, it's going to pass and everything, and I'll be good, right? The friend, had that mentality. Guess what happened? Exactly. It did not pass. They did not fall for it. And what occurred, afterwards, is that instead of just, and this is what kind of got me a little upset. I'm thinking, well, okay, I can understand that if the friend, because she's not of age yet, because she's not legally of age, I understand the friend, being tossed out. I understand the friend being told to leave because she's not of age, okay? I can understand that. I really can. I can understand that. I get that. I can understand that. But what gets me and what upsets me is they also kicked out my niece, my soon-to-be niece-in-law, and the other member of the party who were of age. And I'm thinking that's unfair. That's not right. Why would you do that? Just because this person messed up. This person should be the one that is basically, responsible for what happened. They should be the one that's punished. They should be the one that's asked to leave, not the entire party. Well, unfortunately, that's not what happened. And they had to spend, I guess, the rest of the bachelorette party back at the Airbnb. I think that's what they call it, the Airbnb. They had to spend the rest of that back there, having a few drinks and, just listening to music and dancing, and that's it. That's it. They wanted to, explore the Strip, or at least explore some of the casinos and everything, but they couldn't do that because the friend decided, who was not of age or anything, the friend decided, and there's a cat going across our our thing, as you can see right there. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's going across. But anyway, the friend decided, I'm gonna try to be sneaky and get away with something that's not right. And what happened? What happened? The friend, and there's the cat right there. It sees me. I don't know if I can get a picture of it. Yeah, there's the cat right there. These cats love to come around our area, mostly because we're near the alley, and also because I think they sensed that we had a cat here, not that long ago. But anyway, like I said, the friend decided to be sneaky, and it cost everybody at the end. So even though they didn't get to do what my soon-to-be niece-in-law was hoping to do, and that's be on the floor, maybe gamble a bit, explore certain areas there, they had to go back. They had to just spend the rest of the time, at the Airbnb in some other areas outside of there. But yeah, it was not a good bachelorette party for them or anything. I can tell you that. I mean, it was good. Let me correct myself. It was good, but not on the level that I think my soon-to-be niece-in-law was going to, basically enjoy or hope for. All because the friend wanted to screw up and everything. But outside of that, not really much going on. But there will be a lot going on this weekend, I can tell you that. There will be a lot going on this weekend because it's the Apricot Fiesta. And the Apricot Fiesta, comes once a year. And it's going to be warm this weekend, I can tell you that. And if my mom is ever hoping to, clear out any congestion, I can tell you this, the warmer it gets, the more humid it gets, the more she's going to sweat that stuff out, believe me. But yeah, outside of that, just, it was an okay Memorial Day weekend. I mean, I can tell you this, honestly, just like, I would say, wait, let me look at the time here. 7, what was it? 7, oh, come on. Hold on. 7:10. So almost, I can tell you this, almost about, 45 minutes ago, she called me after she was already left, asking me if she sounded congested and everything. And I said, no, you sound all right. You sound good. You sound good. You sound all right. I mean, again, it's kind of like with me. It's kind of like that to where there's a little bit of congestion, but not much. So she's all right. She's fine. And like I said, she's taking some Dayquil to help her out throughout the day when she needs it. But yeah, she sounds fine. But what's funny is I was thinking about this after she called me and after I talked to her. I was thinking about this. I'm thinking, well, if she felt that way, why didn't she just stay home? And I'll tell you why. You see, if there's one thing any of us know about our parents, is that we could tell when they're trying not to really tell us everything because they don't want us to panic or worry or anything like that. I could tell you why she didn't decide, you know what, Brian, I'm just going to turn around, come home, and, just take an extra day off because I want to make sure this is all gone. All this mucus and congestionness is, at a level that makes me sound normal or whatever. I can tell you why she didn't do that, but it sounded like to me, when she called me about 46 minutes ago, why it sounded like she might have been, in my opinion, considering that. I mean, because if that was the case, why didn't she ask me before she left, right? I could tell you why. And again, parents will not tell us everything. We know that. We know that. We all know that from experience. It's because of the fact, in my opinion, that yes, she has time at her job to take as much time as she needs off, for a mental break or to feel better and stuff like that, right? I mean, she's been working there for over 20 plus years, so she's amounted a lot of time, especially recently. So she can take as much time as she wants off. But here's what I think's going on. Yes, she can take certain time off, but because she asked for next Monday off, the day after the fiesta is over, which is June the 4th, because she asked for, not June the 4th, but June the 5th, the reason she asked for that day off, after, the fiesta is one, she doesn't know how long we're going to be out there or anything. And two, she doesn't want to be too exhausted going back into work the next day. Now, here's what's interesting. The fiesta on a Sunday, on the last day, closes at about 5 or 6 p.m. Thus, it gives, the people putting it together, even those that have booths and everything, plenty of time to tear everything down, if you will, and then go from there. Now, the reason I bring that up is because my mom could easily, and I mean easily, just come home after that, because if my older sister is saying, hey, me and my husband are going to go see Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias, in concert, then it should be easy for my mom to come home, relax a little bit, and then get herself ready for work. But she doesn't want to do that because she's at that age now to where she doesn't want to push herself. But if she wanted to, she could do that because she'd have plenty of time still to rest. But the reason I say all this is because when I look at her calling me about 50 minutes ago, that kind of tells me that not only was she considering maybe turning around and staying home for the day because she wants to make sure everything is, kind of cleared out to a point that it doesn't make her sound too bad, which she doesn't. She sounds a lot better than she did this past Saturday, and I can tell you that. She sounds a lot better. Like I said, it kind of sounds like what I do at times. But I can tell you honestly that the reason she was considering that, but didn't do it because, again, to me she sounds good, she sounds better, and she probably was going to do it anyway. But the reason she had that thought, something that she could have asked me before she left, it's real simple. The reason she doesn't want to do it, even though she could, is because, like I said, next Monday she's off on the 5th. And again, the one thing, and I know it's taking me a while to get to this, but the one thing she won't tell me and my sisters, because like I said, parents won't tell us everything to, make sure we don't get too concerned or worried. The one thing she won't tell us, in my opinion, from what I can tell, is that despite her having all the time, in the world, despite having all the time, vacation-wise and sick time and all that, her job, in my opinion, is the kind of job that, they will give you your time, but then they'll kind of find it a little suspicious that, okay, wait a minute. They basically asked for this day off because of sickness, but now they also asked for the day. They also asked for the following Monday off because of vacation, and it's like, to them, it's not gonna seem kind of right. Like, she'll be there for work, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but they're gonna look at it in suspicious ways. Like, okay, well, why did she suddenly decide to take the Tuesday after Memorial Day off? And why, along with the fact that she already has the following Monday off? Doesn't make sense. They will start to suspect something. Like, excuse me, in their own mindset, in my opinion, they will start suspecting things. They will start finding things to be a little weird, fishy, from their point of view. Like, okay, this person took this day off and everything because they're sick, but they also have the other day off and everything, and that doesn't make sense. Like my mom basically said to me on Friday when she came home from work, she said that one of the ladies that she works with who lives in Modesto basically was okay the previous day, but then called in sick the next day. And it's like, well, she didn't seem that bad. What's going on? What's happening here? And you know what, my mom and even I brought this up actually to her, and my mom even kind of agreed with it, later on, that the lady that she works with that lives in Modesto kind of travels a similar path that she does. That lady who is rumored to be on the verge of, it's just a rumor, it's just speculation, but it's rumored, it's speculated to be on the verge of leaving because of the environment. my mom, after I kind of brought it up, my mom, agreed that maybe she just wanted to have an extra day away from the kids because they have, here's the thing, her job is giving them newer kids at a time when they're not supposed to have newer kids. Like, yeah, register your kids for the following year, but don't register them and then have them put in with only weeks left to go in the school year. But that's what's going on. That's what's going on. And there is one kid that my mom has said is totally autistic, ADHD, whatever you want to call her, that is not ready to be there. She whines, she cries, and everything. And you know what my mom told me? My mom told me that she told one of the people she works with that she is literally and this was on Thursday, she's literally getting a headache. She legitimately got a headache because of this kid. And that she had to take ibuprofen when she took her lunch or took a break. She had to do that. Because this kid was literally giving her a headache. And the lady that she told this to was like, oh, don't worry, everything will be fine, everything's fine. Tried to play it off. The following day, that same lady that told my mom on Thursday when she got her headache because of this kid, who told her, don't worry about it, everything's fine, trying to play it off. You know what happened on Friday? That lady, not even 30 minutes in, to that kid being there whining and crying, well, I wouldn't say 30 minutes in, but I'd say an hour or so of the kid being there whining and crying, that lady who tried to play it off on Thursday calls the mom up and says, ma'am, come get your kids, she ain't ready. Or she's not, she's not ready, or she's just whining and crying, it's disturbing. And what's interesting is the mom got the kids shots the previous day. You would think the more not the previous day, but the mom got the kids shots on Wednesday, a week ago tomorrow. She got the kids shots on Wednesday, and obviously the mom not realizing, oh, maybe I shouldn't send my kid to work, to school and everything, still sent her, and she's whining and crying. And this is why I think today my mom was kind of hesitant. Not because she wanted to make sure, she was completely if not 75% clear, if you will, 75% clear, of the congestion. But also I think part of her doesn't want to be there because of the kids. It's the same reason that, she suspected, and, even after I brought it up, that her friend who lives in Modesto didn't want to be there on Friday and fake the sickness. Called out sick because she didn't want to deal with that kid. Or any of the brats there that are not ready to be there. But you know why they get put in there? And this is what my mom said. My mom said that the reason they get put in there is because the people that, allow the parents to register them into the program, and stuff, instead of waiting till the following year, they allow the parents not only to register them right then and there, but they allow the kids to be entered into or be instituted into the schooling, like I said earlier, within the final few weeks of the school year, which doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. And again, this is what my mom suspects, and I'm sure she's not the only one that her job suspects this, that the people doing the registration for the parents to put the kids in, not the next year, but right away when they shouldn't be doing that, one, they're inexperienced in what they're doing. They're not properly trained into understanding, when we register a kid, it's for the next year, not right away. So she sees that, it's like she sees and feels that that's what's going on, but also she sees and feels that basically, just like a lot of places nowadays, educational or not, it's all about money. Money, 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 money. And look, it's understandable you want to make money, to financially balance yourself, but there's other ways of doing it. There are other ways of doing it. And this is not one of them. I'll be honest with you. This is not one of them. Because you're putting stress on my mom, You're putting stress on her fellow teachers / friends. You know, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. And look, if you don't want, and look, here's the thing, here's the way I look at it. If you honestly do not want certain teachers there, maybe because of their age, which is wrong of you to think of, and that's why you're also doing this, not because maybe you're not properly trained to understand, oh, register for the following year, not right away, or you're just doing it for money. If you're also doing it to, as I put it to my mom, weed out the people, you know, that you feel are expendable, then why don't you just say that? Why don't you just say that? You know why they won't? Because like my mom said, they don't have teachers. They even had someone in HR tell them, you know, hang in there, we're low on teachers, we need you. Okay, that's fine, that's great to hear, but, you know, why say that and then on the opposite end make it feel like you don't want certain people there by doing, you know, these things when you're not supposed to do it? I'm just saying. But yeah, it's been one of those weekends. But like I said, it's been one of those times in my mom's job to where, as we've talked about before, it feels like they're turning her Head Start job into a special ed, you know, place when it's not supposed to be. So anyway, outside of that, she had, like I said, for the rest of Memorial Day, she just used it to feel better, which she is, thank God. You know, and everybody else, you know, had their own time. Like I said, my niece and my future niece-in-law, they went to my future niece-in-law's bachelor party in Vegas. And my older sister went to Don Pedro with friends and family to camp. And really, that was about it. That's all any of us really did. So, thank you guys for watching. Comment down below. Like, share, donate for me. Like the video. And until next time, I will talk to y'all later.